that looks straight. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am super excited for today's project for two reasons. One, my overalls finally arrived from Australia, so I feel very ready to paint. Thanks, Mum. And two, I've got this beauty behind me right here, which is a little outdated. Show it a little bit of love, make it a little bit chicer, a little bit cuter, pretty it up a little bit. The first step before I can get to the fun part of painting in my overalls, I need to give it a clean. Today I'm going to use a TSP that I picked up from the hardware store. It's a pre-mixed one because I'm lazy, and really it's as simple as that. Then I'm going to wipe it back with some water and do all the other things that a furniture flipper's gotta do. Well, let's get to it. Let's go. I still need a catchphrase. When removing the hardware, I pop it in a container like this so that I can make sure that I'm keeping everything together. Even though I'm not reusing this hardware, I will save it for another project. I've completely removed the hardware and taken the drawers off. It's time to clean, but before I clean, I'm going to take my Sharpie and just mark each drawer out with a number on the back so that I can make sure I'm putting them back in the right spot. Sharpie and numbers. Don't hate me. I've just remembered that with TSP, I should be wearing gloves. Check out the lovely hue of this water. Now, this is not even an accurate representation of what it would have looked like had I not emptied this out in between doing the drawers and the body of the furniture piece. You don't want to be painting all of this into your furniture piece. No way. Before I can take this any further, I need to pop to the hardware store because there's some bigger gouges in this piece that will need more than what I've got. So I've just got a little bit of wood putty at the moment. It would probably work, but I'd rather get some quick wood just to make my life easier. So I am going to hit the hardware store, grab some breakfast from my favorite cafe on the way because it's 10 AM and I haven't had breakfast yet. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, kids. Eat your breakfast. And broccoli. It's delicious. To the hardware store. I'm back from the hardware store. It was raining and I had to try so hard not to buy everything in Home Depot. It is a challenge, I'm sure, for many people who love the furniture flipping life. So I got the quick wood that I went there for. Then I also found these, which are sanding sponges for curved edges. So I'm going to try and use them on the legs of this piece. I'm a little bit hesitant to use my orbital sander to sand away the finish, so I thought that these could be a good option. I've got it in a 120 grit and a 220 grit, so I'm going to give those a go for the legs, and if it works, amazing. If it doesn't work, I will attempt to use my sander very carefully so that I don't turn round legs into square legs. When I was at the Home Depot, I did find a plant that I really wanted. It was beautiful, perfect for staging reasons, and it's just super cute anyway. I ended up not getting it in the end because I saw a tiny little spider, and while I wasn't scared of it, I'm from Australia, I live in Canada now, I ain't got time for spiders. I think it is time to figure out how to use Quickwood. Never used it before. And fill in any of the gaps, gouges, holes before I sand. I'm going to start my Quickwood with the drawers and then move my way onto the dresser behind me. I have heard from those far more experienced than I am that less is more with this. I'm just going to take a little itty bitty bit to begin with. Ooh, fun. Oh my gosh. It's already gone hard. So it's like you've got to move real fast. That has already gone like almost too hard to play with. Lesson learned. I think using Quickwood was a success so far. Now I need to let it dry for, you know what, it's an undetermined amount of time. I need to let it dry until it dries. I might as well get started on the furniture legs and try those flexible sanding pads and see how they go. I have my 4 furniture legs here with this stain on them. I'm hoping that the wood color underneath is nice. If it is, I think I'm going to keep it natural. My partner suggested that I paint them black because I'm going to do the hardware black, which you haven't seen yet, but you will shortly. But I'm not sure. I think black might just be a little bit harsher than what I'm wanting to go for. You know, I don't want to draw too much attention to the legs. So let's see how these go. I'm just using the 120 grit first, and then all goes according to plan, then I'll switch it up to the 220 grit just to smooth everything out. I mean, something's coming off. Here's the thing, it is working, you can see it here, but this process is going to take me too dang long for me to persist with this. I think instead I'm going to attempt to use my orbital sander and hope for the best, and then I can finesse it out with these. I think to remove everything from this, I mean, look at how dirty that is already. So much has come off. And that's how much of an impact it's had so far. So it's not huge. Orbital sander. Let's give it a whirl. Actually, this gives me the perfect opportunity to test out this adapter for my orbital sander. It's the Bosch orbital sander and my Festool dust extractor. At the moment, it's just connected with duct tape, classic, but I spoke to this guy called John on Etsy from Tool Curve, that's his company, and he makes, with like a 3D printer, he makes adapters, and I messaged him and asked him if he had one for a Bosch orbital sander to the Festool vacuum, and he said he didn't yet, but he was planning to go out and buy a Bosch sander that week. So he would organize that and then 3D print one for me. I get to finally test it out and see if it works. Goodbye to duct tape. I love you, but I think that's on there. It fits. Cool. All right. That's pretty exciting. I'm going to test it out. On my sander, I've got a 120 grit sandpaper. Let's see how we go. I am going to invest in some headphones because this is too loud for my ears. In the meantime, I might get my partner's music headphones and see if they help. I've just had a startling realization that I might be a complete and utter nincompoop because I started sanding this with the 220 grit instead of the 120 grit. I thought I was using the 120, apparently not. So I'm gonna use the 120 grit now, and then I will use the 220 grit that I should not have started with in the first place, but I did. Finally, I am completely done with the legs for now. They're not as cute as I hoped. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to keep them completely natural. I think I might do a paint stain. Sort of imitates them looking natural-ish, but it takes away some of the dark tones in the wood that just won't go. So you can see some of the dark tones in the wood that just cannot be sanded out. So we're back with day 2 of this furniture flip. The first step for this morning is to scuff sand everything and also sand down anywhere that I put that quick wood yesterday. It's now nice and hard, which means it's ready for me to sand and get ready for painting basically, which is obviously the best step. I'm going to go over it with a 120 grit sandpaper and then I will follow it with a 220 grit just to make sure it's nice and smooth. While I've got this piece upside down, I'm actually going to do a couple of repairs. There's a couple spots where the wood has come up, so I need to glue it down. There's some nails that are sticking out, so they gots to go. And this is loose here. It's been a couple days since I've been able to work on this flip. The reason being is that when I was sanding the piece, I discovered that there were a few spots that I needed to repair. Some of the wood veneer was coming up, and then there were a couple of spots where I had decided to use wood putty on the corners, hoping that it would be enough. Unfortunately, wood putty did not make the cut, so I had to get rid of that, pop on some quick wood, which I was hoping to avoid because it takes so much longer to dry. Then I came back the next day, lo and behold, the quick wood was either not dry or I didn't mix it well enough, because when I started sanding, even though it felt dry enough to me, when I started sanding, it also chipped off. Nightmare. I have applied it again, and for the sweet love of furniture, if it does not work when I start sanding today, I'm gonna be mad. I hate everything. My little corner for my furniture that I did with quick wood, which you can kind of see here, look at how perfect it was. It chipped off, didn't it? What am I doing wrong? I have no idea. Like, it's super solid. It just didn't stick to the piece. I don't know. Has anyone else had trouble with quickwood and it not staying on the corners or any of that sort of stuff? Let me know if you have in the comments below, because clearly I need help. So here we go again. Quickwood number 3. I mean, like, it almost doesn't matter, you know, because these corners are right at the back, at the bottom. Actually, one is at the front. It kind of matters. Gotta do it. I could just distress it, maybe. Maybe distress it, then might work without the quickwood. I'm already here. I'm mixing it. I'll give it a go. I'll wait another day for it to dry. And yeah. It's frustrating, but I'm hopeful that it works this time. In the meantime, while I let the quickwood dry on the frame of the dresser, I will start working on the drawers. I'm super excited to share the paint color with you that I'm going for today, and it is a fusion mineral paint. It's called Goddess Ashwagandha, and it's part of the Marie Holmes limited edition collection that Fusion Mineral Paint did with Marie Holmes. Obviously. It is a collection of paints that are inspired by different flowers and herbs. So there's another one called Sacred Sage, Twilight Geranium, Enchanted Echinacea. I've got a couple of the colors from this collection because I'm obsessed and I can't wait to use more of them. But before I can actually pop this color on, I need to prime. So I'm gonna do that. I think the easiest and fastest way is to just roll that baby on. Roll it on. Get that primer on there. Okay, I'm gonna go do that now. For those of you who don't know much about Fusion Mineral Paint, it's a 0 VOC paint. It has a primer and a top coat included. I only used a primer on this today just to be certain that I'm not going to get any bleed through, and also to preserve my paint. So by putting on the primer, I feel that I won't have to do as many coats of this color paint. I still think I'm going to have to do at least 2 coats, maybe even a third. To pop this paint on, I'm going to use chalk brushes from Country Chic. Now, I haven't used the Country Chic chalk brushes before, so I'm excited to see how they go. Let's open this paint up and pop on the first coat. I am so ready to paint the body of this dresser. I ended up having to do 3 coats of primer because I noticed some discoloration when I was putting on the first and the second coat. So you can see here that there's like a little bit of a yellow tinge to it, and I think that that's just because when I was sanding the body of the dresser, I ended up taking off part of the stain, so that was a discoloration between the stain that was there and then the raw wood body. In the Fusion Mineral Paint line, there is also a primer included, so I feel 3 coats of primer plus the Fusion line, I should be okay. If I do notice any more discoloration, then I will just go back in and fix anything up if it pops through. But enough chit chat. It's time to paint, people. We're on the home stretch now. I have 3 things left to do before I can finally stage this piece and show you what the result is. I need to pop on this Lemon Verbena Furniture Salve by Wise Owl. I heard about this product through Angie from Transcend Furniture Gallery, who is absolutely incredible, so professional. She definitely knows what she's talking about, so I watch her videos religiously and just keep a mental note of all of those cool tips that she provides. I love this. As soon as I saw her use this in one of her first videos, I just bought it for myself, but this will be my first time using it. Oh my gosh, it's so good. If you guys could smell this through the camera, you'd be in heaven. However, my partner does think it smells like Fruit Loops, so, you know, I disagree. It smells like lemon verbena to me, but I mean, I like Fruit Loops. I'm okay with either option. So I'm going to pop the furniture salve on, and then I need to pop on the legs, which I actually ended up painting instead of doing a paint wash or a stain. I was a little disappointed after spending probably the better part of 2 hours sanding down these furniture legs that the wood underneath was not quite so pretty. I've just painted them all the same color as the furniture and the drawers, so I need to pop those on, and then hardware. I've buttered these drawers up. They're smelling absolutely delicious. I used a lot more of this than I anticipated that I would, so it was brand new when I opened it, and then that is how much is left, so really not a lot at all. I think the reason I used so much of this is because the wood was super thirsty, and potentially because I was using a shop towel as well, which I think absorbed part of this. So something to note for next time. It's time to pop the drawers in, pop those legs on, and then get to the hardware. I'm completely in love with my furniture flip so far, but I need to put the finishing touches on it before I can stage it. The original hardware was pretty damaged, so you can see here someone's tried to glue this one back together, and then this one's just straight up broken, which means it was not something that I was going to reuse. So I thought a long time about what kind of hardware I would use, and I've decided to go with a combination. I've got some matte black knobs that I'm going to use, and just to spice things up a little bit, I've also got these, if I can make them click together, very cute little pulls in matte black as well. I'm going to pop these on. Before I pop the hardware on and do the big reveal of the before and after, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching my YouTube video. I have so much fun filming these and doing these furniture flips. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you had a little bit of a giggle, you know, because that's what this is all about. I mean, technically it's all about furniture flipping, but if you have a giggle as well, then I feel pretty happy with that. If you want to see more furniture flips, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you know when I upload a video every week. And if you'd like a little something extra, you know, a little bit more mahala, you can head over to my Instagram and follow me on there. You'll get some behind the scenes of my furniture flips, DIY projects, and just little moments in my life as well. But for now, let's pop on this beautiful hardware and see the before and after of this furniture flip. I'm going to, what is the word I'm looking for? Oh, I've got the hiccups.